As the screen flickered under the faint glow of his desk lamp, James leaned back in his chair, a mix of thrill and dread coursing through his veins. He had finally downloaded the Tor browser. The post on Reddit, those whispered legends of the deep web, had hooked him. Curiosity wasn't just a cat killer, it was a trap door, and James was already peeking through. The first hour was just links, garbage, pages filled with scams, dead ends, and worse sickening material. He avoided like landmines, but then he found something called the Black Pages. Black background, red and yellow links, some of them personal assassin, dead pets. Felt more like urban myths than real listings. His eyes landed on one yellow link, the Secret Society chat. He hesitated, then clicked. The screen went blank, white. For a whole minute, nothing but his own reflection on the glossy black of the monitor. Just as he reached for the mouse, it changed. The screen turned pitch black. A chat box popped up. Next to it, an empty video frame. James chuckled nervously and typed, "Hey." Then everything spiraled. A masked figure appeared on the video feed, shadowed. Then James froze. His own face flashed on the screen. He hadn't turned on his webcam. He never did. He slapped his thumb over the lens. Panic surged. The window had no minimize button, no close tab. His taskbar was gone. Control plus Alt plus Delete did nothing. Then came the voice. Muffled, distorted, artificial. "I still see you, James." It felt like the air had been ripped from his lungs. He knew his name. James didn't wait. He slammed the power button until the screen died. But the terror didn't end there. 2 weeks later, while eating cereal, his mom tossed a plain white envelope onto his bed. "You got something in the mail." No return address, just his name, scrawled in black ink. Inside one sheet of paper, 3 words, written in bold block letters. "Don't come back." James tried to move on. He deleted Tor, blocked Reddit, cleared every trace of that night from his laptop and his mind. But some stains sink too deep. And like any true horror, it came back. One night, driven by lingering paranoia, he started Googling deep web rumors, trying to reassure himself it was all just myths. That's when he found something darker. A thread mentioned a buried site called Human Experiments. He didn't know why he clicked. Maybe because a part of him wanted to feel in control again. But what he saw stripped that illusion away. The homepage was blood red. The text. The experiments conducted for this website are to prove that not all humans are born equal. James felt his stomach churn. He scrolled anyway. Test logs. Photos. Subjects were listed as vagrants, abducted. Experiments included starvation, electrocution, forced infection, even infants tested against X-ray thresholds and extreme temperatures. James had seen shock videos before. 3 guys, 1 hammer, faces of death, but this was different. It wasn't a redirect mech. It was active. Real time. He should have stopped there. But he scrolled all the way down. Then a small box popped up. "Did you enjoy the site?" His fingers trembled as he typed. "Who is this?" Response came instantly. What was your favorite part of the site? James repeated his question. The chat paused. Then came the reply. I'm the owner. James's rage flared. He typed, You're sick. I'm reporting this. He shouldn't have said that. The reply came. I see your name is Michael, and you live in Massachusetts. His blood ran cold, but he played dumb. No, you're wrong. There was a pause. 10 seconds. Then a final message appeared. His full address. Then, have a nice day. James slammed the laptop shut. His hand shook as he dialed 911. When the police arrived, he told them everything. But Tor saved no history, no traces, no proof. The cops said the only thing they could do was leave. And they did. His family moved within the month. James never returned to the deep web. But sometimes, when he's alone, he still sees flashes of that blood-red font and wonders how many others never made it out. The weekend air was quiet. Too quiet. The kind of stillness that creeps into the bones, waiting to be shattered. With his parents away in Atlantic City, Kyle had the house to himself, a rare kind of freedom, one that came with its own shadows. He had just discovered Silk Road, an infamous dark web marketplace, whispered about in back corners of Reddit. His weed dealer had moved away, and this was the next best thing. Or so he thought. He downloaded Tor, browsed around, and posted on a seller's page, asking if the product was legit. It felt harmless. Within an hour, he got a reply from a user, Illybull. Low price, friendly tone, but with one catch: local deals only. Kyle hesitated. He'd done local deals before. They'd never gone wrong. Where you at? Washington, Kyle replied. Cool. I'm about an hour out. Can meet you in your town. Easy. Too easy. They agreed on a 9 p.m. meetup at the Wendy's parking lot downtown. But before that, Elise started asking questions. Who you live with? You got roommates? Kyle lied. Nah, I live alone. That lie might have saved his life. Or nearly ended it. An hour later, Ilya messaged again. Let's meet somewhere more chill. He dropped a pin behind an abandoned retail store on the edge of town. Something twisted in Kyle's gut. Why there? He almost backed out, but desperation won. He got in his car, drove to the location, and parked behind the decaying building. No one was there. Not even headlights in the distance. Just wind, concrete, and the hum of nearby traffic. Then, a message popped up. I'm on my way. That's when it hit him. How would this guy know the exact spot unless he'd been here before? Or worse, unless he was already watching. After 20 minutes of silence, Kyle peeled out of the lot and sped home. Relief hit him as he pulled into the driveway. But it didn't last. His front door was open. Kyle froze. He knew he'd locked it. He always locked it. He killed the engine, stepped out of the car, and listened. Nothing. Not even the wind. There was no sign of his parents' car, no neighbors outside. The porch light flickered faintly as he stepped closer. Inside, the hallway light was on. Upstairs, another glow. His parents' bedroom. Then he heard it, a shuffling sound. He called out, voice dry and cracking. "Mom? Dad?" The noise stopped. Dead silence. Then the door slammed shut. Something inside him snapped. Fight or flight. And Kyle? Kyle chose fight. He bolted to the kitchen, yanked open the drawer, and grabbed the largest carving knife he could find. His hands shook violently, but he didn't care. He stormed up the stairs. Each step echoed like thunder in the quiet house. Boom, boom, boom. The bedroom door loomed ahead, like a mouth about to swallow him whole. He took a breath, then kicked the door open. The room was empty, but it wasn't normal. His mom's jewelry case was flung open, drawers overturned. Footsteps trailed across the carpet. Then, a hand grabbed his ankle from under the bed. Kyle screamed, instinctively slashing down. The blade struck flesh. A roar of pain erupted beneath him as the man scrambled out, knife still buried in his arm. Kyle stumbled back, nearly slipping. The man didn't look at him. He just ran. Barreled past Kyle, down the stairs, and out the front door. Kyle grabbed the corded phone in the room and called 911. "Someone's in my house," he broke in. "He's gone now, I think. He was under the bed. Here's my address. Please, hurry." He stood frozen, blood on his shirt, knife on the floor. A black Honda Accord peeled off down the street. The police came fast. He told them everything. Well, almost everything. You couldn't mention Silk Road. Couldn't mention Tor. All he could do was describe the man. Black male, backward hat, ragged clothes. He was already in the house when I got home. They searched the place, took photos, filed the report. Kyle knew. This wasn't random. Somehow Illy Bully knew where he lived. He never gave him the address, but he had it anyway. Kyle hasn't used the dark web since. Sometimes, though, when he closes his eyes, he still feels the cold grip on his ankle and wonders if the man ever plans to come back and finish what he started. There are places on the internet where the light never reaches. Some corners are too deep, too dark, where curiosity isn't just dangerous, it's a death sentence. And he found one. It started with a post, a Reddit thread asking users to share the worst things they'd ever seen on the deep web. Tor browser, hidden wikis, black pages. He wanted to see for himself. And he did. He never meant to go that far, just explore. Just click a few links, get a scare, then log off and laugh about it with friends. But some links take you to places where people disappear. After hours of dead pages and fake stores, he landed on something that made his stomach twist. Human experiments on Ayan. The title didn't pretend to be anything else, but curiosity won. He clicked. The page loaded, slowly, like it didn't want to be found too easily. Then it appeared. A blood-red banner, cracked font, background black as a coffin, and the message. The experiments conducted for this website are to prove that not all humans are born equal. Should have left. Should have turned off the laptop and gone to sleep. But he didn't. The homepage listed categories, like a perverse science project gone mad, extreme starvation, organ exposure without anesthesia, radioaction testing on infants, live temperature endurance. He couldn't believe it. He thought it had to be fake. So he clicked on one of the links. Test subject, R4, skin exposure and fire reaction. The screen went black. Then came photos. Real photos. Unfiltered. Horrific. A man, arms strapped, his body blackened and blistered. The photo logs showed progression, minutes into heat exposure, then hours. The final image didn't look human anymore. He had to fight back the urge to vomit. But instead of clicking away, he scrolled. He kept scrolling, until he saw a section he never should have reached. Infant series. His hand hovered over the trackpad. He didn't click. But the page auto-scrolled. Down, 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 until a chat box popped up. At first, he thought it was an ad, maybe a pop-up glitch, but it looked custom. Just a small black box in the corner. Then, without him typing anything, a message appeared. Did you enjoy the site? His blood froze. He stared at the screen, unmoving. Then, with trembling fingers, he typed, "Who is this?" The reply came instantly. "What was your favorite part of the site?" He didn't respond. His hands hovered, shaking slightly above the keyboard. He tried to click out of the browser, but the exit button was gone. Everything was locked in. He typed again, more firmly. "Who are you?" This time the response came slower, as if the person on the other end was thinking. "I'm the owner." Something in his chest twisted. This wasn't a bot. This was real. He could feel it. So, in a moment of panic, or perhaps defiance, he wrote, "This is sick. I'm going to report this site." The chat box blinked. 1 second. 2. 3. Then a final message slid across the screen like a knife through skin. I see your name is Michael and you live in Massachusetts." His entire body locked. That was his name. That was his state. But he couldn't stop himself. "No, you're wrong." It was a stupid move. A pointless bluff. 10 seconds passed. Then, line by line, character by character, his full home address appeared on screen. Street, house number, zip code. Even the second floor window was mentioned in the message below. "Nice view from your bedroom window. Have a nice day." Michael slammed the laptop shut so hard the screen cracked. He called the police, breathless, unable to form full sentences. When they arrived, he told them everything, except how he'd found the site. Tor didn't save history. The URL was gone. The site, likely already vanished like smoke. All they could say was, "If this is true, pack up, get out, now." His family moved within the week. He changed his name. He hasn't touched the dark web since. But some nights, when he looks out that same window from a new house in a new town, he still feels watched. Like somewhere out there, someone never logged off.